To Alan, who's in Scotland. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, Petrie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I'm good.
Good. Now, I see by the notes that I've been given on you that you've met Shamima Begum.
Briefly, I actually spent more time with her husband.
Okay.
I've got the only interview in the last 3 years with him that's been done.
Is he from the Netherlands or from Belgium?
He's Dutch, yeah.
Dutch,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Iago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So they've accepted him back, haven't they?
No, at the minute he's still in northeast Syria, as far as I'm aware, and there is a jail sentence waiting for him when he gets back. He's been sentenced in absence to, I think it was 7 years.
Okay. It doesn't seem that bad for what he may have done.
He got convicted for something else, and so they can't really do him again, blah, blah, blah. There's a ton of stuff under it. It's Dutch law, completely different to our own. That's why he's screaming to go back anyway.
Right.
But they're all screaming to get back here. Now, as for Shamima, oh God, there's so much. I could spend all day on this one. I met her briefly. Her main coach, who's a woman called Kimberly Pullman, I call her Canada's White Widow, that's who was coaching Shamima. Now, you also now have media coaching her. I actually witnessed this firsthand. They're trying to make on that they're now victims. She was getting a wage from ISIS, as confirmed by her husband.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give you an interesting
one. What for? Was she out? Was she out as the clothing police?
No, she wasn't Hizbah. A lot of people have said that she was in Hizbah, but to be honest, she's too young. She doesn't speak Arabic. She doesn't really. There's a lot. I will tell you what I think it was for. Now, at the time, her husband got put in. ISIS arrested him and put him in prison.
All right.
For about 4 months, something like that. Anyway, she was getting a wage while he was in prison. Now, I'll tell you this straight off. Not only confirmed by her husband, but confirmed by other British ISIS to me and American ISIS. You do not get a wage unless you were working for ISIS. Now, I think that she was doing the suicide belts whilst he was in prison. That's what I think she was doing. I can't prove it 100%, but she was not getting a wage for not working for ISIS. If you don't work for them, you don't get a wage. It's that simple.
Yeah. So she wouldn't have got a widow's a so-called widow's wage.
No, he was in prison at the time. He actually got released a few months later, and it took her 2 months to tell him about miscarriage. But anyway, just after they got released, they were in the markets with heads, no less, as if it was normal. Trust me. I've got all this on camera with him.
Yeah, no, I believe you. You're a documentary journalist. But look, the thing is that this is the problem, is whether we don't have the proof, do we? There's no proof. It's all hearsay.
Well, I'll tell you what we do have a proof of. Everybody's known about this Canadian guy since this Canadian spy, who was basically an ISIS smuggler. Everybody's known him since 2015. Now, tell me this. Why haven't her little PR team within the media, her lawyers and her, been going on about this guy in 2015?
Yeah.
Don't you find it strange that it's only come out now, and I'll tell you why. It's because the BBC's about to do a drip feed and propaganda for her. That's what's about to happen. Again...
For Shamima?
Yeah, it's coming out in the next couple of months. Trust me on that. It's basically, there was... I'll stick to being professional on this, but yeah, they're basically drip feeding for her in the next couple of months. There's a thing coming out. So expect not only this story, but other little drip feeds to start coming out. Expect it. She's got more support within the likes of the BBC, obviously the Times, and a few other papers that are all now bleating about her rights. I'll tell you what we do know.
But why? You know, you said that she's being trained, and you can see that. It's so obvious that somebody is advising her, training her to be a bit more Western. Just put some nail varnish on, change your clothes, wear a baseball cap, get your boobs out, you know, look a bit more sexy. I mean, you know, all the things that would be haram for her. And so, you know, they are definitely trying to change her in our view, but we're not quite that stupid. But why has she got all of this support? How?
Right, can I just say something that you said about the haram there?
Yeah.
Now, trust me on this. If they wanted her dead, she'd be dead tonight. And by the way, it was a lie about her attempt to get attacked. Because obviously I can't go into it too much, but anyway, that was an accident. One of their gas stoves went up. But the reason that they're doing, it's haram. Unless you're using taqiyya and you're trying to flow. Now, the Yazidi...
I've heard that expression before, and this is tricky.
Yeah, the Yazidi we rescued from ISIS. Now, she was held by ISIS for 5 years, 8 months, including by 3 Western wives of the ISIS guy that owned her. Because all the women were involved in the slavery of the Yazidis. Anyway, she was held by ISIS, and you know what the Western women were saying in front of her in Naveen? They were sitting there and they were saying, we will go back to our countries. We'll go back and we'll laugh at the Kafirs. We'll fool the Kafirs. Now that has come from direct to me by not only Naveen, but by other Yazidi as well, that were saying the same. They're trying to fool us. And the thing is, these people, it's not a lost war. To them, it's a lost battle. They think a generation ahead. But they're a ticking time bomb. Trust me on that. Now, what we do...
But what could and what would Shamima do? Say she is an agent for ISIS. What would we have to fear from them?
I'll tell you what we've got to fear. We've got to fear treating ISIS as if they've been away on a package holiday. Their caliphate failed, and then they come back to Britain as if they were away on a bloody package holiday. Do you know something? I probably got more hassle in return than ISIS. I need to watch what I'm saying on this one. Samia Hussein, I found her in Shamima Begum's camp. Show me the charges. The Met didn't even want the bloody evidence. That's how bad it is in Britain.
Really?
Because they're ticking the boxes. I could go into this one, but I need to watch what I'm saying.
Is there any the suspicion is that she was building suicide vests and belts for people. But there's the trouble with, and you know this as well as I do, that in a court, it's proof that people want to see, and this is why The Hague is there for war crimes, because it is so complicated and so difficult to prove. Sometimes decades after, beyond a reasonable doubt, that somebody did what they're being accused of doing. So we've got nothing on Shamima.
Now this is where it's coming into play with all of them. Why do you think they're destroying their phones? Why do you think they all want back to the West to fool us Kafirs? What we do know as fact is what we do know as fact is she willingly joined ISIS. Now, if somebody committed murder and then got in a taxi and the taxi driver drove him to the airport, would we blame the taxi driver for the murder? No, we wouldn't. And that's what... There's so much involved.
They might be arrested as being an accessory after the fact, but...
No, but I mean, this Canadian, everybody's known about him since 2015. Her team would have been bleating about this for the last 5 years, 6, 7 years. Come on now. Yeah, this is just a distraction. But this isn't about Begum. This is about all of them.
Yeah, I get that, Alan. I really do. Listen, I'm so grateful you rang in. A brilliant call. Very insightful. And listen, I know where you're coming from. Completely, completely understand. I'll continue with this conversation.